Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Something Objectively Stupid podcast. I've kept these guys here for a week. They've been quite nice. They don't really need anything to eat.
Mention the Spotify.
Okay. Obviously, one of them needs more duct tape. I guess I gotta go and get more. I can't torture you forever, so I guess this has to come up. You're next.
Holy crap! Can I have a water?
Can I have a water?
Please, I'm so hungry.
So you guys were just here for your own entertainment, eh? Like you
Yeah. Whatever I
could
wanted.
have done that at any time, Joey, please.
Hope my family wasn't missing me. I
Hmm.
mean, I had to do the next podcast episode.
I like the way Joey looked at me when he tied me up.
Anyways, somebody didn't have time to write an episode, so...
That's not true.
Who wrote this episode?
Nobody this time.
Technically,
It was technically.
it was thoughts and ideas in a Discord.
It was written down somewhere.
I'm sorry, guys. I have night school.
It's sort of like...
You're so sleepy.
It's... You know... You ever question your strength?
A little bit. All
Never.
the time.
I'm fucking giant.
A duct tape bit, never again.
Are you as giant, though? As a gorilla.
That's right. We're doing the gorilla episode.
We're doing the gorilla episode.
So glad I didn't
I
say
like-
anything. I had a lot of bits planned, and none of them should have good for the
Well, 100 men versus a gorilla is today's topic of the episode. Do you think 100 people could take down a gorilla? A singular gorilla. A peak
Yes.
gorilla.
Yes. No.
Yes.
Peak gorilla?
Are you actually saying no to this?
I'm saying no.
Guys, we
This is
might
gonna be a fun episode.
actually have an episode on our hands. I was totally expecting everyone unanimously to say yes, because 100 men versus a peak gorilla is an easy clap for
Could
the men.
100 babies take you down?
I could say no. I think there's not enough. You could give me
Okay.
infinite babies.
There's not enough babies. Gorilla.
Okay.
Gorilla.
The difference between
Gorilla
100
versus 100
And
babies.
100
men
men.
is incredible.
Gorillas often treat fully grown men as babies, and that's what they see us as.
Okay, are you imagining the gorilla? First of all, Joey, do you think 100 men could beat a gorilla?
Oh god, why'd you put it on to me?
Because
I know I haven't
no,
made
no.
a stance.
There's a feeling in this room right
In
now.
this debating
And you
podcast,
really
he likes
need
to
to-
not
yeah.
take a stand.
And you need to
Are
take
you
one
with
right
me
now
or
because I
against
know
me?
what your answer is. Don't be fearful of what I'm gonna do to you if you say the wrong option.
Go ahead, Joey.
Go ahead.
We're friendly.
I felt
problem-
it.
It's okay.
My
Okay.
problem is
You can do this.
I'm still kind of torn between it. Like, could
That's what the gorillas. That's what a
With
man
the baby on
and
could 100 men take down a gorilla?
Yes.
Or
No.
can the strength of a gorilla's arm just immediately topple 3 people that are trying to cling on to him? Because those things are so strong.
Yeah.
They have so much muscle in so many right areas that is it just a counter to 100 men? No. I don't
He's making
actually
sense.
think that it is.
That's incredible.
Are these people wearing clothes?
Yeah.
No, I want their
No,
dinglings
they're
hanging
naked.
out.
Are they naked? Because clothes gives you a big
I'm
advantage.
gonna say, if
Check 1, 2.
It's not working.
Oh.
not gonna stop recording.
With 100 naked men versus 1 gorilla, I think the gorilla wins.
Let's go.
This
This
is
is
gonna
gonna
be
be
a
a fun
crazy.
episode.
I
I'm
think
so
the
ready
gorilla
for
wins.
this.
That's incredible.
so, let's start it off. You guys, let's start off with you guys being over here, being like, oh, but this and this and this.
It's a simple yes.
It's
the 100 men.
why is it?
How-
Sweep.
How is this fight staged? Let's establish the ground rules for
That's
it.
a
Is
fair
it like
question.
is it a gladiatorial arena or is this like one-on-one with
I
the
feel like where
gorilla
would you
at
find
a
the
point?
gorilla?
Well, where would you find the men?
It doesn't
100
matter.
men.
Okay, no.
The window.
Okay,
The
it
original
doesn't
post that
doesn't
the
matter.
question's based off of, it's 100 like random 20-ish-year-old guys
Oh.
and it's in like an empty room or something like that.
I always imagined it in just like a bigger boxing ring. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like a square that you just can't leave, or else we consider you quote unquote dead or just.
I just feel like you're taking the gorilla out of its element and saying like, hey, you know, it's like fight this blue whale, but it's on land. You know, that's a little unfair.
Yeah, I
You'd
so
lose
if
to
the gorilla was in its element,
Yeah.
what advantages would it get?
It would sweep. It would
sweep
sweep
so-
so
yeah, but
hard.
why-
It
why-
would drown so many.
You would lose such an advantage in a jungled area with having because you guys
Rough terrain.
Yeah, rough terrain.
Okay.
Simple as that. If it's a smooth terrain, unnaturally smooth terrain, then yeah, you could.
Is
circle
there
it
sticks and rocks lying around?
Probably.
Humans
Then
win.
the humans win.
The humans win
Yeah.
even harder.
It sweeps even.
It sweeps
even
you
harder.
harder.
No,
Yeah.
not in the jungle. In the jungle, like if sticks and rocks are laying around, I don't think you sweep him in his home territory.
Like
you do.
No.
I think.
No.
What are you
I think
talking
with
about?
rough terrain enough with a like how much do gorillas weigh?
About 600 pounds.
I think with a 600-pound
Because I
creature,
was ready.
I think a 600-pound creature barreling towards you as fast as it can in its home turf while you hold up your little rock that you found. I don't think you're living.
Dude, I sacrificed 50 men to give the other 50 men sharp rocks.
But how are you figuring? How can
Like,
you plan?
you're
that?
just
Like,
gonna
how
slip
are you
over
going
each other.
to
Again,
encourage
so-
50 dudes to just say,
No.
lay down your life so I can get.
There's
fucking
no-
rocked."
there's
How
no-
are you going to convince a gorilla to charge at
Yeah.
100 men? How come the gorilla gets
Kill
to
its
do it, but
child.
not the
Kill
men?
its child in front of it.
The original,
Kill its child in front of it.
question is that these humans are from all over the world. Like there's no communication, or there'd be very little on the human side because they all speak
That
different
sways
languages.
it so much because, like everyone says, like for 100 people to be effective, they need communication. Otherwise, because strength in
It's-
numbers,
it's like the
is only
Tower
when you
of-
all have a similar goal and can communicate on how to do it.
Is it
If
like the
each
Tower
you
of Babel? Is that what that is? The Tower of Babel where God shuffled whatever it
Yeah,
is.
it took us
Tower
10
of
minutes-
Babel.
10 minutes to get into the
Tower of Babel.
theocracy.
Let's continue religion, because if I was in that fight, I'd fight like I was the third monkey getting onto Noah's Ark.
And brother, it's starting to rain.
That gorilla would be gone. I don't understand. I think you guys are correct. Zach and I are on the same page here, and the understanding that I have is 100 men is
you-
a lot of fucking dudes.
Have you seen a room of 100 people?
When was the last?
Yes.
When was the last?
Ontario.
When was the last time you saw a room of 100
Dude,
people?
okay,
That
wait.
fucking dope.
A wedding.
How many?
Listen.
Yeah, how many people are in that wedding? 100.
Over 100.
And
yeah.
would you say, man, that's a lot of people here?
I would say, yeah, 100's a lot of people.
And you think
Well-
a
And you think a-
4'11",
yeah.
600-pound monkey is gonna go? Yeah, I'm gonna do splash
Listen.
dance. Here's 50 with 100.
Now, okay, wait. I'm
not doing
I'm
that.
changing the question here a little bit.
You would like
But-
that?
Yeah, wait,
Give me a
wait,
second.
wait.
Give me a second.
Goalpost.
I know this is goalposting a bit.
Those are the
but-
logical fallacies.
Okay, so my grade school had 300 people in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
300 kids. I think the gorilla would sweep that grade
They're
school like
not
there's
kids.
nothing.
You can't say.
But
300
listen,
kids
listen.
versus a gorilla.
They have desks. They've got prep time before the gorillas coming into them. I think the gorilla sweeps.
100 kids versus an ape.
I think Jeff
Apes.
could do the chimpanzee.
Wait.
60% of the, or 40% of the time.
Wait.
A chimpanzee. 30. Again,
20.
I would
maybe.
say 40.
Maybe.
I would say 40.
Chimpanzees stand in water, smiling at you, betting for you to come in so they can drown
If
you.
we're,
That's
if we're in a-
kangaroos.
If we're in,
That is also kangaroos, but they do the same.
if
thing 'cause
we're
they hate
in a
being the water.
boxing ring, like you're not allowed to leave this little square,
Yeah.
right?
Doesn't matter the terrain. The humans sweep. It's
I
100
think it's 100
people.
fucking dudes.
No.
Aiden, picture you.
Yep. Me.
You can do that, right? Now picture 10 of you.
Okay.
Now do that 10 more times still.
Yeah.
No, this is
That's
the
how
1
many
billion.
people there
this
are.
is the 1 billion bit ants bit again. They
Another
can't
one.
comprehend numbers.
Another one.
They can't.
Another one.
They
Another
can't
one.
comprehend
That's
numbers.
true.
They don't know what number
100
5 is, bro.
Zach,
I can't do
I
this.
know my limitations. 100 of me is dying to a gorilla.
What are you talking about?
And also, 100 of me is implying that I would think 100 of me would think exactly how I'm thinking.
And if you're doing that, then the gorilla
Did you
thinks
say
he's a
it?
gorilla
Wait, did
would. It
you
sees
say
100
six-
people, it goes,
Did you
"Get
say
your fucking
600 pounds?
Hey
600
gentlemen.
pounds.
It's
Hey
double
gentlemen.
that.
Is it
Gentlemen.
1200?
No, yeah, it's basically
Gentlemen.
Gotcha.
so
Gentlemen.
you came prepared.
Gentlemen, it can the gorilla can lift an 800-pound man and throw him.
Yeah.
Okay.
It bends metal bars and breaks trees with its grip
I
strength for
forgot.
fun.
Oh, you're so right. I remember reading the Wikipedia page where their stamina's infinite and they have hacks.
Yeah.
Are you
like-
stupid?
Okay, yes, humans' advantage, like if we go back to it, right? How humans did it back in the day. We
Back
are
in the day,
persistent
back in the day.
back in the day.
Yeah.
We are persistent hunters. The way we're able to kill bigger animals is by tiring them out because we
Mhm.
have endurance.
Mhm.
That's our whole shit.
Yes.
Less hair, sweat. We're talking a very short fight.
No, we're
Why
not.
would it be short?
Why-
Because the
you're
gorilla
saying that
sweeps.
In a boxing ring, if people leave that boxing ring, you're not in a boxing ring for an hour, like 100 hours. You're not in there for an hour. You're in there for like less than an hour worth of time. And yes, the gorilla will get tired at a certain point,
And then it dies.
how could
Because
a
it
man-
cannot get its stamina back as fast as we do.
I think a man would be able to gouge their eyes out.
Yes.
It would not be able to tear off a limb from a gorilla. It would not be able to.
You don't need to tear off no limbs of a gorilla to win
How
a
are you
fight.
killing a gorilla?
I'm saying you just beat it nonstop. Like if
It
we're
will
going,
hurt.
You're not
if we
gonna
take
hurt
away
it.
all tools, I think if we get
You're not
10
gonna hurt
guys
it.
clonking on that guy's head, he passes out eventually, and
think-
they just keep going.
I think a human hitting a gorilla is the same as like a baby pulling your hair. Yeah, it hurts, but it's not.
Death by
just-
1,000 cuts. It's real.
You're not gonna get 1,000
happens.
cuts in before your head gets actual. And then
next
you're
guy
a
will,
miss.
The next guy
The
will.
next guy will. Yeah.
only
What
got
happens
two
with
hands
him?
and 2 feet.
After this fight is done, how many humans do you think are left alive?
I have no idea.
Like,
I have no
liberal
idea.
guess like 20 to 30 maybe.
I was gonna say 20. If you guys are winning, it's gonna be 20
You
people.
flip flop so.
I'm not
fucking
flip flopping. I think
God
the gorilla
forbid
wins.
A man can play both sides. What the fuck is this?
You're
I think
just
at-
wanting to
I
have
think at
multiple
most,
people
like,
on your
50.
team.
If the gorilla gets really unlucky with like a guy running up and like gouging its eyes out first hit.
Wait,
like,
wait. These are average like 21-year-olds, right?
Average 20
From
to 21
from
25.
everywhere.
Yeah, this is a
Right.
great
So we could get some 10 like really beefy guys and 10 Jessets. Like you know what I mean? Like
the
it's-
average,
yeah.
the percentage of people who actually like it's 5% of the human population is able to lift their own body.
That's
weight.
not true.
So
That's not true. It's more than 5. I looked it up the other day. It's like 35. Like it's pretty high.
It would make
what
sense.
percentage of people can lift their own body
you
weight?
can type it.
It's pretty high. Like it's a high percentage. It's definitely not 5. It's a big percentage.
It's goal posting.
He's goal posting.
Take 5 everyone.
That's-
I
Can you
know.
ask me a Schweppes while we're waiting?
Yeah, do you mind giving this guy Schweppes? I feel like our guest needs some payment. Especially because he's objectively correct.
And I got
Something objectively
kidnapped the
correct
last
for-
week. I deserve something.
This is the first liquid.
I've
we've had in
only
weeks.
given him Schweppes for a week.
What crime did I commit to get Schweppes?
Giving me the Schweppes.
Single line is about 10%. So 10 dudes, out of your 100, can at least bench their own body weight. Probably one
Oh,
dude.
bench. You said lift. You not bench.
I did. my
You
bad.
said
I
lift.
did say.
I said goal posting, and I foresee it. I foresee it.
This is just like last week.
Hey, but he admitted it this time.
It's because we caught him. It's because we caught him before I got to the editing booth. That's what it is.
Anyways, as we were, just because they can lift a lot doesn't mean if you kick someone, they're still gonna get hurt no matter how weak it is. It's 100 people.
I think there's a
If
substantial
I were to fight
difference.
a billion ants, I lose every single
Okay,
time.
so how many punches do you think the average person's getting in, or kicks, or punches, or throws?
1 to 2 at
1 to 2 at
least.
most.
All right, so
At
But I only
least.
think it takes about 60
could-
good punches to kill a gorilla.
How many people?
If I
How
punched
many
you
people?
100 times in the nose, how many times?
if
How long
you
until?
punched me 100 times in the nose, but if a toddler did, I'd be like, you and then punt the mother in the stratosphere.
There's a difference in strength between a toddler and a human.
I think the
The
difference.
toddlers aren't human confirmed. This guy hates babies.
I
I
hate
think
him.
the difference in strength between a toddler and a full-grown man is very similar to a full-grown man and a gorilla.
I
The
agree.
gorilla doesn't have like a cloak of invulnerability. It's got regular skin and meat like we do.
Yes, the gorilla is stronger, but it is not like its skin isn't
Listen.
rocks.
Okay, wait,
It's just
listen.
like yours and mine. It's
Zach,
just-
how many toddlers do you think you could take in a fight?
How many? I think before I got tired, like 4 or
And then-
5.
What did you say?
How
Sam?
many toddlers do you think you could take in a fight?
Before I got tired, I probably. How old? Like I'm gonna say 20
Toddlers.
toddlers, like 20 kindergartners
Yeah.
coming
You're out
at
of your
me.
mind.
I'd say 20, and like that's how much it would take for like if I saw 20 toddlers looking at me, I'd be like, okay, I'm finished.
So what you,
I'm walking
what
into a
you guys
luge.
just said was that gorillas were the difference between gorillas and humans is
He's
less.
supporting our point, I think.
No, what you said was the difference between gorillas and humans are less than humans and toddlers, right? So you're saying that the strength
closer.
difference between toddlers and humans
Is greater.
is greater
Yes.
than it is for humans and gorillas.
Yes.
Yes, I'm. Listen,
Okay.
strength wise.
So you just said that you could take less toddlers than you think the gorilla could, or
He's
humans.
supporting our point.
He is.
I
He's
think
saying
I
that
think you
That,
kind of
that if we lose to 20 toddlers, the gorilla loses to less
to
humans.
more humans.
I think
Yeah, wait a minute.
I think I
yeah,
have
they lose to more humans, meaning over 100.
I think I have a better point. I think okay wait.
Lost
You
it, brother.
lost me.
Here, hold on. I think
Brother, he's
I,
washed.
I think I have a better point here to counteract you guys.
Go ahead and try.
Listen, so I know you two are really amped up and ready to fight this gorilla and everything like that, right?
Right?
Except now, if 100 people people from random nations and random places just get teleported to now go fight this one gorilla, there's a lot of weak-minded 21-year-olds.
I've always
You gotta
imagined.
You gotta do some Irwin AOT shit. To
You're,
get them
again, you're
hyped up.
you're so right. I forgot that the gorilla is bloodlusted and ready to go.
Yeah,
after
but the
100
humans aren't.
If you
Yeah, the
okay, no,
humans aren't.
if you
No,
start
that's
if you
completely
start
reasonable.
if you start beating a gorilla all of a sudden, then
Here's the
yeah,
thing,
it's gonna
guys,
fight
when
back.
these- When
A
these
gorilla's
100
less
people,
likely to run than a human is.
when these 100 people get teleported to the gorilla, why does the gorilla get the starting chance of I'm here to kill?
He
but the
doesn't.
humans don't.
No, that's not what I'm saying. He doesn't. I'm saying he's sitting there on the floor completely fine.
Okay.
You are all sitting there completely fine, right?
Yeah.
This fight starts when somebody punches this gorilla, and
Nobody's
now
gonna
the
push- why
gorilla's
would the
mad.
gorilla
So
get
then the fight
punched?
doesn't happen.
So
We're
then
all
the fight
fine.
doesn't
That
happen.
makes sense.
Completely. Oh my
Okay,
God.
you guys you're straw manning here. You're taking what we're
We are
saying
not
and you're
straw
fucking like,
manning!
well, this is stupid because the people.
So this is
You
straw
gotta take a short
manning.
intermission.
We have to take a short intermission. We'll be right back.
No.
Thank God! Thank God! 100
Thank God
bloodlusted. Thank God! 100 bloodlusted people didn't walk into our room to go and
So I'm
fucking kill this
saying
gorilla.
when these people get teleported and the gorilla gets teleported
So
to this
you're
boxing
saying why
ring,
does the gorilla get
In the
advantage?
course
I'm
of-
saying why does do the
We're
humans
right
get
I'm
back
saying
into
they
this.
both have the same advantage if they get teleported there, and the only thought that they get is the only way out is to kill this gorilla, and the gorilla is the only way out is
Humans
to kill
don't
these
think
people.
like that.
Well, gorillas don't.
Okay,
Think
wait,
like that.
okay, yeah, no, gorillas don't think
What?
like. I think that this is a fair starting point.
Is
I think a
both of them-
a
in the span of-
bloodlusted gorilla is a lot scarier.
Yeah.
than
In the span
100
of
people.
20 minutes, you guys went from the starting argument, which was 20 to 25-year-olds, 100 of them, fighting one silverback gorilla
Yeah.
in an empty room.
Yeah.
And somehow we ran into, what if they're in the jungle?
Yeah, I know.
What if the gorilla is
No.
Superman? What if like,
No, we
you're
did not
bringing-
do that at all. I
you're
said,
bringing-
why is the setting this? It shouldn't it be this? And then once you said no, it's this. I'm like, okay, and I
yeah,
haven't
it
brought
should.
up
You're
again.
right. It should be the jungle where humans can use sticks, and that's so much easier.
So see,
Mine
you
just
said
keeps
that, you're
turning
like,
off.
all right, let's go back to
Discord
the
is- yeah,
original
we'll
one.
share.
And I was
Because you
like,
realized it was a losing. You keep doing
I
that.
did
You do this every episode. I research. I study.
This is the
I'm
second
ready.
episode on
let's
the child
let's take it
divorce.
back. Let's take it back. The
the first
reason
Thanksgiving.
you are saying that the gorilla would win is
Yeah.
just purely strength based.
pure strength. 100 humans cannot damage
You
it
ha-
enough.
You see, that's the word we keep bringing up. Is they cannot damage it. The gorilla's skin is not thicker. You can break human bones. The gorilla bone is not made out of anything different than your and I's bone.
I think a gorilla
know what I
can
mean?
break your.
I could,
bones
if I
quicker.
swung as hard as I could, I think Joey's nose is broken. I think his jaw might be cracked. Imagine 100 of those on a gorilla's face.
100
of them
people.
are not hitting.
Okay,
Wait, no,
but-
5 people max. are
Five.
hitting
Okay,
him.
At a time.
5. Okay, hear me out.
20 rounds.
All I'm saying.
Well, hold on. You're saying the gorilla
no.
ain't fighting back. He just turned to the
No,
one
let's
man
say-
to
let's
miss.
say-
A gorilla has a longer reach than an average man as well.
100%.
So
Yes.
If how many people are able to?
Let's just say you get 5 out of the 100. This is 5% of people get one good hit before they die.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm saying that's highly unlikely. I think it'd be more. But let's bring it down to like the less I would think. 5 really good punches. That gorilla's entire face is shattered.
I don't think he cares.
Shattered.
I don't think he cares. He's an animal. It's literally an
You're
animal.
an animal.
We're animals.
Yeah,
You're an
I
animal.
know we're animals, but we're animals that have a sense of willpower to get back up.
So do
and
they.
Yeah, this is
Humans have
yeah.
adrenaline,
I guess
which
this
is kind
changes
of
the
more
argument.
unique to humans. Adrenaline, I believe. We haven't been able to study in other animals.
Yes, we have.
We should put that
Humans
more
have the.
towards-
Every animal has the adrenal gland.
Okay, so I was wrong about that. So this is why we need Zach on more, because you two fuckers are just like, yeah, whatever.
Well, man, I'm not gonna be look this shit up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, where's Joey? Joey, go ahead and look up. Do animals have the adrenal gland? That's a
Well,
obvious.
So
not
we
gonna
all
do
have
that.
I
animals,
think
so that's
I
an even
think the
playing field
longer wingspan, or
Okay.
which is
there. Yeah,
I
it
think
can reach
that's a big
farther.
advantage for
And-
reaching further, and being able to turn the nearest man to a paste within a second is pretty useful.
I think gorillas would also have better mobility than most humans.
They walk differently, right?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
the thing.
They're not quicker, but they are bigger. They
Yeah.
just take up more
Yes.
space.
I think they would also be able to use their feet more effectively in a fight as well. So they'd have more weapons to their
Wait.
disposal.
20.
No.
Okay, wait. What's the? Do we know the average weight?
So much shorter.
Yeah,
Let's-
they're
let's
4
guess.
foot 11.
Okay, wait. Let's guess the
They're
average
short.
weight. What is the average weight of 20? Let's say 25-year-olds.
I'm pretty sure it's 180 is the average human weight.
I think it's 190 actually.
190.
Because when you do police shit, you have to be able to pull a 190 dummy.
Yeah.
In aviation, the standard weight's 206 for an adult male.
It definitely
so-
goes up every single year because of the obesity
Yes.
epidemic.
Keep that shit up, guys. You're doing well.
right.
190 times.
So 190 times 5, 950.
Yeah.
This gorilla can reliably, mind you,
4 of these people.
lift 4 of these people. If you get like one good punch in that's actually hurting this gorilla and everything like that, I think the gorilla goes like this.
So what you're saying is, if the gorilla goes like this and there's 6 people, the people stop it because the gorilla can't push that much weight.
Sure.
Interesting. So 6 people could stop a gorilla swing in its tracks.
No.
Yeah, not before.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happens when the other arm comes around?
6 more people are there.
And then
I don't
after
think they
there's
can do
still
that.
80.
Oh,
What?
man.
How many?
Thank God there's what is it? Yeah, 80,
80,
88.
I don't think they stop it.
We can't. Okay, yeah. Okay. Side tangent. 88 is only a number funny to us because one time we were doing a test and Zach said, "I'm gonna get 88% on this." It's not with at all.
Wait a minute.
That is not what comes back. That is not the part that comes back. It is because he got that score on the test.
It always comes back. Isn't that also a thing?
Oh,
no! Show me your tattoo.
See, you guys always shit on me. It's like, why does your mind go there? It had to go there.
It really did.
And they always come back. No, he does not. He is dead and as he should be.
Someone's mic's not working.
It's mine. It's unplugged.
Yeah.
And I was sharing. It works for 10 seconds and it's off for 20. So it's just a cord. We need a new cord of this.
Shove it up your ass.
As we were,
Ooh.
I honestly don't think that the 6 people could stop this swing before it comes around at Mach.
Why wouldn't they be able to? Because the max strength of a gorilla was 980 pounds.
Yeah, but that's the average weight of a human just because.
No, that's max strength. That is the highest recorded strength of a gorilla.
No.
Is that not what it
It's
was?
good. Reliably,
believe
they
that was
could do that.
average.
Okay, so
Yeah,
what?
absolutely.
Hear me out. What if 10 people are there?
Okay, so it goes through the first 9 and stops on the 10th.
You can't get 10 people that close
What
to
you
a
guys
gorilla
are
in a
what you
line
guys
like
are
that. I
confusing
don't think
is
you're gonna
you
get-
have
strength
100.
and weight. So the gorilla could reliably lift 10 people or 9 people. He couldn't lift 10.
Yeah.
But a swing coming around is not the same
Could
as
hold
pushing,
on
right?
to a weight, right? That
So-
doesn't mean that. Okay. So
Is there
They
a record of
possess.
a gorilla's punch? Because that would be different. And we're not overcoming the weight of a person. We're overcoming how much their skull can hold, right? So what stops
the force?
a soccer ball hitting you in the head wrong can give you a concussion.
So could it do it to a gorilla? It could so do that also
they
to
have
a
stronger
gorilla.
neck muscles. The only reason why we get that
Is
is
the brain shake? They have a smaller brain and it shakes
so it
around
doesn't.
more.
Yeah, so it doesn't hit the. It's because it hits our wall and gives like the brain
So
damage,
Google
right? So
says a gorilla. Google says a gorilla can reliably hang on to 1,100 pounds. So
Hang
that
on
is
to, right?
that is the
Uh,
average weight of 11 dudes.
Yeah, and their
yeah, so
grip,
it
their
can
grip
hold it from a
strength.
bridge, but it doesn't.
But everyone's
equal
grip
killing
strength
power.
is stronger than what you can lift. That's just
Yeah.
you can hang your.
That's completely false.
Is that not what it is? Your grip strength is always stronger than what you can lift.
No, because I can't grip strength 300 pounds.
Yeah, but I think if you had,
I can
if
grip
you
strength
had
12,000
A
pounds.
steel worker's grip is like 90 pounds.
I
and
always
that's fucking
imagine
phenomenal.
that if grip strength was like, let's say I can lift 200 pounds, but if I had 300 pounds strapped to me and I grabbed a bar and like you removed my feet, I could probably hang on to that.
I think you're using more muscles. Are you?
Yeah, but is that not what grip strength is? Is how strong you can grip onto something? Is that like not what it is?
Oh wait, it's split up between your two hands.
Yeah,
So if you're holding 300 pounds, you can
maybe
grip strength
150
150.
each.
So you can't grip more than you can push.
I think this is kind of, and in me myself, I'm kind of jumping in after just sitting on Google here for a second.
That's what you need to do.
Right.
Sometimes.
I don't think even with what do you think the maximum people you can get around a gorilla charging in at waves if at once?
Probably 10.
If we have 100 people, I'm gonna say that gorilla's constantly surrounded.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, but like I mean immediately around him within his wingspan.
I would say within 10 seconds, you lose, 20 people. But after that 10 seconds, the gorilla's surrounded. And you're stuck with 80 people left on the field. All of them are pushing and shoving to get to this gorilla.
Okay.
I think even in that confusion and chaos, you weaken your side.
Why is that?
You're pushing and shoving into people. Have you
You're-
ever been into a crowd that's trying to get away from something?
But I'm saying, like, the force of people. Like, I'm pushing on this
I
gorilla. The guy behind me is pushing on me. To push to the
you're not
gorilla.
gonna squish the
falling over
gorilla.
ground, you're getting trampled to death. You're killing.
Yeah,
your
you're
people.
killing your own
We
people.
could have. In the 100-man versus gorilla fight, it's totally reasonable if we're all bloodlusted that maybe, like, a few people, like the Travis Scott
so
concert.
yeah, okay. Well, wild reference. I think let's math out how many people die before the gorilla even gets injured first, right? I think for like
20 people immediately.
eviscerated by the gorilla, 20 people.
Like,
are dead.
20?
like, what's
Do
it?
you
What's it?
know
No, no,
how
no.
strong
I just searched it up.
20 people-
No,
I'm
Emmett,
just
look.
saying,
Emmett, take a look at
We're
this
starting the
information
fight
that I
right
just
there,
looked
other
at.
sides of the field, right, or other sides of the boxing ring. They have to come towards the gorilla to surround it, right?
Mhm.
So the
Even
gorilla,
if it was 10,
if we're
10
assuming
people, it's not much
bloodlust,
of a chance. They're
right,
absolutely
which we
huge.
were,
I'm charged up by server.
if we,
Yes.
I'm not
Nothing's
changing
like
the
this.
This is a
goalposts.
Facebook
If we
debate.
were-
You
You
I'm
got that
saying
off an AI answer from a
Sure.
Facebook.
If we were to
Fox
assume
News.
both groups have
Yeah.
bloodlust,
What
I
is
think
the expert
20
say?
dudes get
With an entire
eviscerated
net,
before their
coordinated
plan
behavior
can fully
that
come into
determines.
action, right?
Okay.
What
And I
does it
think
say?
at least 10 people are
What
getting
does
trampled or
Fox
injured or
News
even
say?
dead on the
Okay.
way to the gorilla.
Okay. Sure.
Because I don't think everyone can be evenly paced out, average dudes, right?
Sure.
So you're losing 30 off the hop.
Sure.
is
Okay.
what I'm
So now
thinking.
can a tired gorilla kill 70 people?
I think
the
yes.
numbers.
So
That's me.
we hear me out. Hear me out. Joey and I just looked up. Facebook argument says it's not. Guy on Facebook says
and
it's
the
not
guy on
possible.
Facebook says
No,
that
guy
COVID
on-
vaccines cause
Guy
autism.
on that's crazy because the guy on Facebook says that it's not possible.
Aiden, you're hurting our point.
But Fox News tackled the debate and said that the humans have a really strong chance.
No, it just says numbers.
I don't
It
want
says
Fox
numbers
News on our
on
side.
the
Go
thing,
away.
Okay, we'll take back Facebook. The guy on Facebook says it's that humans lose. Oh shit! Sorry,
Not the sour cream. You're ruining the pod.
I need a short snack break.
I'm gonna be the research guy for this because I want more research, and you guys can just argue with each other. So
Hey, Jamie,
Emmett,
can you look that up?
take
Hey,
my
Jamie.
take my microphone.
Yeah, yeah.
Short intermission.
Continue to fight. I'm gonna pop in with like
Facts.
random little facts, and I want you to fight more about it.
Short
So,
intermission.
get going.
What's the strongest animal you could be in a fight? What's the biggest animal
biggest
you could be
animal.
in a fight?
Whew, that's a tough one. I think Justin, I want to say beating a fight means that like
You're alive.
it doesn't mean that you come out unscathed. Like you come out like if I were to fight a dog, I think my left or my right arm, whichever one it latches onto first, is just gone.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have that arm after getting surgery to get it healed. But I think the dog would be dead, and I think I
Yeah.
would come out on
You could
top.
definitely beat a dog in a fight, but you're heavily injured.
I've got a question for that. Is it like, do I have? It's like an empty room.
I'm imagining it's the boxing ring like the gorilla.
Same,
Okay.
same setup as the gorilla.
I can take a great white.
Okay,
Okay.
let's remove sea creatures out of the example.
You're right. Yeah, I could take a
yeah.
wolf.
Think about it.
51-49 odds. So I could take a wolf.
I think you could take a wolf. Yeah.
I think.
I think that's as big as it gets, though.
Yeah, I think yes, but barely for that dangerous of animal.
Yeah. Exactly. So I think I have a 51% chance of
Yeah,
winning.
it's a very slight edge.
I
It's
think-
like their whole. If they get your jugular, you're done.
What are
Yeah.
the odds you beat a kangaroo at least once out of 10 fights?
20%?
20%.
Because there are people who stand up to kangaroos, but they're just like, what the. F-?
Yeah,
I'll
they-
watch the Urban
yeah.
History Ranch.
Yeah, they don't swing back is the thing, right? Because if they
Yeah.
swing back, you're pretty much dead. So your only hope is blind lug and just swing. On
Here's the
them.
thing. One really good hit against a kangaroo and I win, but
Look at
he's
their
one
neck,
really
right?
good hit against me and I'm done.
Exactly. Glass cannon versus glass
Yeah,
cannon.
I think that's what it is.
I think for me, the biggest animal I could probably take on a fight and win it would be like a pig. Or
I
maybe
I think you could get bigger.
I
because
think
the thing is with
yeah.
a pig, they're like on the ground and their neck's right there.
yeah.
Right, so if I can get to their neck before because like they can only hit my legs, right?
Mhm.
If they knock me down, I'm done.
I think pigs are so easy to fight that they have a sport about it and they do it like once a year.
Hog riding.
Yeah, no, not hog riding. They
That's
do it
what
out. They do it out in Calgary where you jump off a horse and wrestle a pig. Like yes, it happens.
Yeah, and I'd say a pig is bigger than a dog, aka I win.
Yeah, but I think
I think you could go bigger.
you go bigger. I think a pig is easier to fight than a dog, in my
So
opinion.
then why did you say dog?
Because I feel like the dog is harder to fight.
Yeah, but it's not hardest animal to fight. It's biggest animal. You
the
can
hard.
What? I thought we
It
were doing
wasn't
like a hard.
hardest fight.
Oh, you're so right. We're going biggest animal. I could take a fucking anteater.
Yeah.
What am I thinking?
That's right.
I could take a horse in a foot. No, I couldn't. No.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
What is the biggest animal that is just so
much.
stupid? That is just so
Can we
stupid.
go extinct animals? I think I could take a giant sloth.
I think I could take a cow in a fight. There, done.
A lot of people. do.
I think if I had like 99 friends, I could kill a silverback.
Anyway, Joey, did you find any facts about this?
None that support his argument.
Yeah, not a lot that support my argument.
yeah,
I'm not seeing a lot that supports it. I like how this is from the Rolling Stone. I like how they word it. We wasted 3 specialists' time with this.
it is.
question.
It is a really. It's
Um,
a something objectively
so-
stupid question.
The first.
And it's also popular, so hopefully we'll get views.
Guys,
Hey
I love you.
guys, subscribe.
What's the
please.
thumbnail gonna look like for this episode? Aiden, on May 2-4 weekend, yeah, get the biggest muscular pose you can.
Like me bald.
Yeah.
like, lifting
Yeah, I
weights.
want that, I
That's
want
you
that.
guys Small.
Anyways, The first specialist, he's a conservationist. In Magill's view, 100 men in their 20s in excellent physical condition could ultimately defeat a gorilla if they are committed and go in united. That doesn't mean it would be pretty. The human assault force would have to expect severe collateral damage that could easily include death from broken necks, severe arterial bite wounds, massive concussions leading to fatal brain bleeds, and asphyxiation from other men piling on top of them.
We brought that up.
It could be a kamikaze mission for the men closest to the gorilla. Even some who survive might be left paralyzed or disfigured. If they are willing to accept this, he says the group should be able to overtake the gorilla and inflict enough blunt force trauma combined with severe twisting of the head and neck while simultaneously inflicting severe abdominal punches that the gorilla would eventually succumb to either a broken neck, internal organ damage, or asphyxiation. I feel like a news anchor.
No, don't keep it. Tell us more, Joey. Tell us more, Joey.
Argue about that. Why?
Argue about what? The facts were laid out in front of us. I lost.
I don't think that's facts laid out in front of us. I think that this fight is, at this point, kind of a toss-up.
I think.
Where did you getting a toss-up from?
From the setting that we said, it's like they all have bloodlust, so those humans are dedicated to that shit. We are done.
No, Joey's in the mindset of the grind set, all right? Quick to come to conclusions, slow to change, and that's how you make millions. Joey, I'm really proud of you.
I think
Stick to your guns.
Making millions, you say.
I think that this is kind of a toss-up. I think you guys have... Let me give it a percentage chance. I think you guys have a 70% chance of winning. I believe that there's a 30% chance that you get eviscerated by either your own people just choking you out, you drowning on, like, blood and limbs, being not coordinated enough in your attack, or not being, like, somebody getting shocked for a second or something like that and faltering in their entire assault force. And, well, let's face it, 25-year-olds don't see people get ripped in half in front of them all the time.
They
so
play GTA, though. They might be used to it.
It's different from flesh and bone.
I would be happy with that answer.
I think
70-30.
I think it's a direct correlation for 1 percentage point for each person. So now that we are at 100, it's a 100% chance and not even fucking close.
It's a 50-50, guys. Either the humans win or they don't.
So true.
I like this video.
I like this video.
If only there was some way I could bet on this, because there's so many geniuses I'd love to take money from, you know?
You know,
Wait.
That'd be a really good, like,
Maybe like $1 idea.
$100,000 to like $999,000 idea.
What would make it a $1 million idea?
If I bet one more dollar.
Have that dollar?
I don't.
That's crazy.
I open up my wallet, a little moth.
There
flies
is,
out.
Xander, like the guy who cosplays JoJo into the Miku contest. He's organizing it. I don't know what it's gonna look like. It's probably a bit.
No, he's not.
Wait.
There's no way you could organize that. 100 people
He said,
being
hey,
like,
can I rent a field to have 100 people versus the gorilla?
oh, they're
like,
definitely
what?
they're
And
definitely
then
gonna have a
video
guy
call.
I have
gorilla
more
shaped.
information.
Yeah.
This study was based off of that they all know the same language. They all
That
can
was different
communicate.
than the
That's
prompt.
different from what ours was.
Okay.
All these people could communicate in this prompt here.
Okay.
And that was a necessary part to your strategy for killing this gorilla.
Was it?
I
It
don't
was
think so.
in that
It was
article.
in the article.
So if
You have to
If
you
you can't
have to
communicate-
communicate between 100 people that you have to kill this gorilla
okay,
right now.
I don't know what happened to me, but like halfway through when Joy was originally organizing it, I was like, a thought occurred in my mind, like, yeah, I'm on the human side now. But now that he said that thought is out of my mind. It left the ears,
It's like
and I'm back on the gorilla side, baby. Let's do
I'm
this.
gonna close this.
the
article
denial
because
is so
So
It
big
is.
river.
you read a lot saying that the humans could win, and the only thing that's stopping you is saying, obviously, the humans would need to communicate.
No. Well, you can't say the only thing stopping me. I raised your point literally last
What
time.
else would say that if the what else
I
would
just
would
had
that
a
make you not agree?
30% argument.
And then now
I
that the
just made
humans can't communicate, it's back. It's the 100% gorilla.
Yeah, because you don't have your tactic. You
See,
don't have
that's
a tactic.
crazy.
You don't need a tactic with 100 people.
You do need
Also,
a
I do
tactic
want
with
to go back.
You need a
If this
coordinated
is the
attack.
average 20-year-old, how many average 20-year-olds actually know how to throw a punch without hurting themselves?
This study is also done with full-grown males.
Full grown.
A full grown is
You
a
don't-
20-year-old.
25.
You're neglecting that humans can do other things besides punch to do damage. They can kick, they
Punch,
can bite.
grip,
Humans
grab.
have some of the
How many
highest
people
bite
know how to?
force.
That's true. Biting is good, but also like, who are you launching? onto a gorilla?
1,300.
The study specifically said that many men would launch
gorilla
onto the
do?
gorilla.
Oh, the gorilla. Yeah, I'm not saying the gorilla doesn't. I'm saying there's 100 other jaws in the fight.
You guys,
You can't
I
attach
need
100 jaws like
this-
they're the funny little clacker toys. to
this
this
is the
fun as that
most.
would be.
This is PMO.
Jaws
You guys are
2,
you guys are
terrible
straight up
sequel.
denying how many is 100. It is so
Another.
many.
Another.
You need to put in perspective 100 people.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
That is a
your
lot of
argument-
people.
not a
Your
lot of
argument
people.
is that a
And then
gorilla
back-
instantly vaporizes us with his
And then-
superpowers,
Yeah.
right? Instantly.
Back when we
Way
did
back
our
when.
4th episode,
Yeah.
you said you guys could probably understand 100, right? Play the clip.
Yeah, and they say, yeah, but here's the thing. 100
evidence they
people. Okay, here this is I'm now backpedaling saying that obviously I'm wrong about that. I'm willing
He
to
doesn't say he's wrong, therefore he's wrong about this one.
that's something that you guys are unable to do in this podcast apparently.
Yep.
It's
I
a-
admitted I was wrong several
Then why are you still defending the gorilla?
Because I admitted I was wrong about other points. I'm wrong about
Okay.
this one. That's a logical
what was
fallacy.
what was I going with the fact that 100 people is so many?
If I keep confusing him, he'll never be
I had a
correct on
crazy
that
point. Is
the
that
problem is you can't get 100 people around him immediately, and then once you get people
Why
dead,
not?
yeah, but
in front of
the
him-
gorilla doesn't vaporize 50 people immediately either.
no, he might kill like okay, so say
Before he gets surrounded, how many people you think he can take on?
say
Because
10,
it is
20.
inedible.
Say before say everybody's swarming him, right?
Yeah, before
And
he
he's
gets
got 10 he
surrounded.
has 10 people within reach, and he kills 10 people. No, I'm not saying instantly.
Yeah.
But over this second, he's killed
Of
10
people charging in, yeah.
And the time
Now-
he takes to kill those people, it's replaced by more.
Sure.
Then there
Yes,
is
I
there's
agree.
more people.
But the problem is now your midline is faltering.
Sorry,
Like I think
got it.
I think now that your midline is faltering of oh wow, now there's 10 dead corpses in front of me. I just watched a man's face get bitten off, and I now have to jump over a corpse to reach this gorilla.
So we're taking away the bloodlust that for some reason we had in the beginning, and now
no,
it's
we don't.
gone.
Now we do again, but no we don't, but now we
The
do.
bloodlust is still there, but I completely
Yes.
forgot where the human bodies go. I said the gorilla could eviscerate 20
No, that-
dudes, and then the gorilla is now surrounded by 20 bodies. People are not getting
He's
to him as easily.
sandbagged.
But it's
Sandbags
also
him up
a
he goes.
hindrance to the gorilla.
True.
It's
but
not
also
just a hindrance
in
to
a
the
fight
people.
of many versus one. Fortification very heavily favors the one.
So the
In a
question,
zombie apocalypse, people build bases because 1,000 zombies
I
coming
would-
at you
I
is
would-
dangerous. But if you're able
One
to
man
slow
versus
them
100
down,
zombies.
I would totally agree, but our question was not answered. How many people die until that gorilla is completely
20.
surrounded
I'm saying
And exhausted.
and not exhausted? I would say even past exhausted, like restrained. That gorilla is being held by limb and
well,
limb
I'm
and
not
limb
saying
and
it's
limb.
being
I
held by
think
limb and
Getting
limb.
I
punched
think
in the head,
Yeah.
getting kicked in the ribs, getting
How
bitten
many?
out.
Yeah, how many people die until at least a few humans are on each limb? Because it's inevitable.
Okay, but
No,
No,
assuming
gets in
that's
the gorilla's
inevitable,
eye.
assuming that the humans
What
will
if-
win, because if you have full control over your enemy, you're going to kill them.
Well, that's
What
what's gonna
That's not
happen.
what's gonna happen.
Why
Hold
not?
on, hold on. I think that would happen.
Yes.
Thank
I
the
know.
voice of reason.
Hold on.
The voice of
I have a
reason.
counterpoint to it though.
Okay.
A human can't just go, oh, I'm gonna choke you, pull him back. This gorilla can fall on its back, crush that human, and start rolling around to
No,
try
but
and get
then
off.
the
If
next
gorilla-
one is
no,
on.
Then the next go, but
Yeah.
If
this
the
guy can
gorilla's on
keep
its back, it's
spazzing.
dead. If the gorilla falls on its back, it's dead.
It's
Straight
dead.
up.
Okay.
It's not getting enough fast enough. But I don't think a human could choke out the gorilla. Their muscles are
I
strong
think
as fuck.
I think a
Nor
gorilla
would they.
going like this.
They would bite it and punch it and poke its eyes out
Yeah.
and rip its tongue
Yeah.
and just get it.
It will be death by 1,000 cuts. It will be. And that's how it is going to end. How, again,
Death by 100.
you're
Otherwise
saying
only get
20,
one hit in.
20 people die until there's a good amount of humans on each limb grappling it.
I think 20 people die before the gorilla is surrounded.
Yeah.
I think another additional 10 die from trampling over themselves.
Okay,
getting to
so
the
we
gorilla.
lost 30.
So 30. And then I think the
70.
battlefield around the gorilla, you have 70 left, right? The battlefield around the gorilla is littered with bodies. You're not going to be able to get a clean punch off. You're not going to be able to bury your feet down.
Why would the gorilla get to? Why if the
Because
area
people are dying away from the gorilla. You have to walk over the bodies to get to the gorilla. The gorilla, assuming the gorilla does not move.
humans are small. Okay, assuming the gorilla does not do this,
so it
or
gets
assuming
instantly surrounded.
Yeah.
So
The gorilla gets
If the-
surrounded.
If the humans are coming at the gorilla, right, and the gorilla's
Yeah.
coming at the humans, and he starts killing 20 people, right, and the people keep coming towards him, the gorilla does not need to move for the people to come to him. So why would you waste movement on going to people when the people are coming to you?
Okay, so humans are smarter. They say, "Man, that gorilla's not moving. Let's wait."
Problem.
if the gorilla doesn't, if the gorilla, remember, they're
I'm saying-
bloodlusted.
Yeah, they're
They
bloodlusted,
have
so
to
they're-
kill each
Yeah,
other.
so they're coming at each other.
Okay, they're
Sorry.
coming.
Sorry, they're going towards each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
And they're fighting, right? Once the fight starts to break out, and the
Mhm.
gorilla throws the first punch,
Uh huh.
right? Because the gorilla's gonna get the first punch. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think the gorilla's
I
got
think it's
longer
about-
reach.
Longer arm reach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
High
the first
chance.
punch. It kills the first dude. And then the next dude's right there, because your guys' whole point. There's another one right there. There's
Yeah.
another one right there.
Yeah.
I'm saying that exact same point right now. That
Uh-huh.
the gorilla would not need to keep moving in towards its targets, because the targets would keep coming towards it after the fight has
Okay,
started.
so
So once the first 20 dudes have died around this gorilla, it now has a fortification where it did not move. So the body's there, all the way around it, not in its reach. So that way it's still able to plant its feet, still able to punch. You have something. I'm
do.
waiting for it. But
I'm on the same
you
wavelength.
just keep punching. The bodies litter around the gorilla, and people keep coming towards the gorilla. Eventually, at a certain point, the humans will back off because they realize it's a losing fight.
Sure.
And then the gorilla will then have to travel over the bodies to go to the people, right?
Okay.
So then at that point, the gorilla will be at the disadvantage.
How fast can a gorilla turn around?
See, I don't
Very-
know.
really
You seen the
slow.
spin-
Yeah, you've
Monkey.
seen that meme where he just spins around and shows his ass to people?
I
Pretty
have.
fast.
I have. How fast can he do it again? And
I don't-
again,
I don't
how
know.
much energy is he wasting turning
listen.
around, getting the guy behind him? Oh, there's someone behind me again, trying to get me in my weak spot. Get him.
Well, I
Oh,
wouldn't
there's
say
another one behind me. Get him.
I would say
You're-
the
you're
weak
saying
spots in the gorilla are
bloodlusted.
the eyes and
Here,
mouth.
hold
and
on.
shit, right?
You're
Like the
saying
tongue.
you're saying bloodlusted, right?
Sure. Any disadvantage you try to give the people is a disadvantage for the gorilla too,
He's
and a
just-
bigger one at
The
that.
problem is with turn radius and everything like that, he's ravaging, right? This guy is going full tilt into spinning
Okay.
around and clobbering anything.
New
With
new
the-
idea.
He could just
For how
we're
long?
changing the scenario
For
now that
how
you're
long?
No,
losing.
new
Changing the
idea.
scenario now that you're
Not
New
100
idea.
people long. I
You-
guarantee it.
You, the average guy, versus one bee. The bee is way less stronger than you. 1,000 times less stronger than you,
Yeah.
let's say. The way bigger gap than between a
I'm
gorilla
gonna
and a
stop you
human.
right there. I'm gonna stop you right there. Ever heard of beekeeping?
Yeah, you versus
Yeah.
one bee. No,
He
you
does.
you and one bee bloodlusted. And the strength gap between a human and a gorilla and a human and a bee is incredible.
Bees have poison.
Yeah, but let's say
If
you
a human had poison, the human
let's take the poison out of it. Let's take the poison
Okay.
out of it. You versus
You know-
100 bees.
Yeah, you know how
I could
bees
do
kill
it.
their prey or kill their enemies?
Bees,
Hornets?
bro.
No, you do not, because you know how bees kill the
It's
hornets?
poison, yeah, whatever.
They
No,
they
it's
don't
not.
they don't use their poison. They
don't use
heat them
poison.
up with their body heat by flapping wings, so they die of heat
Yeah,
exhaustion.
they literally grab.
And what
onto
happened?
them.
I'm just saying, you versus 100 bees.
Their defense
Damn.
mechanism is flapping their wings and trying to get me to
I
overheat.
think I could
It's
take
called
100
sweat,
bees
dude.
regardless. Like 100 stings that aren't venomous to me, I'm living it. It's
At a certain
I
point,
think your
at-
first
no.
idea though, you get stung by 100 bees. If you're fighting, your first thing is I gotta fucking run. I
Okay,
gotta
but here's the
avoid
thing.
these bees.
Right, yeah.
Would the gorilla not think the same?
We're saying bloodlusted.
I'm saying though, like even if I'm
saying
bloodlusted,
bloodlusted!
even if I'm
You
bloodlusted,
can't goalpost
Zach's
it.
smiling because he knows
You
Evan's
can't
wrong in
goalpost
this
it.
point.
but
I
even
don't
if you
fucking
are
know.
bloodlusted, you can't deny that a dodge or a try and avoid attacks happen.
Do
Okay.
you know what the fuck
Emmett,
bloodlusted
Yes,
is?
I
Wait,
agree,
hold
but
on,
like let's
hold on.
say
So I would try to avoid an attack. If I knew the attack
Yes.
coming towards at me
Could you-
is a kamikaze attack, I'm letting that attack hit me so that way they die.
I'm saying here, the gorilla, would he not try to, like he sees a punch clearly coming for his nose. He's gonna be like, okay, no. I want to live, so I'm not gonna take that.
Okay.
A human seeing a giant
Wait,
gorilla
hold
fist
on.
coming for their nose,
But
is it
also,
harder to
you
dodge?
know,
Of course.
If
of
I'm
course.
gonna
This
punch you,
changes
if
you.
I'm about to punch your face,
Yeah.
if I'm about to punch your face,
Yeah.
if you have the option to counter or dodge,
Uh huh.
what are you picking?
Probably counter, right?
Okay, so gorilla,
Very.
I'm again,
Yeah.
gorillas really prioritize in quick bursts of movement. If a gorilla sees a punch coming at it, again, we agreed that a gorilla has a longer wingspan.
Yeah.
Right. So if a gorilla sees a punch coming at it, it's not dodging; it's countering.
So
So while he's punching, there's two
there's
guys
two
right
guys behind
What's
him.
the chance
Yeah.
now?
What's going
Okay,
on?
so
What happens
those
then?
punches- those
Hold on.
punches hit, but then
I wanna-
death by 1,000 kills.
No, the guys
I
run
wanna
behind him and
counter-
poke his eyes out. What now?
I've
They-
two
The
points.
guys are behind him, bite the gorilla's neck. What next?
Yeah.
Hold on.
The guys are behind him. They
The guys are behind
hold on
him.
to
They
his
poke his
legs.
eyes out. Was the
Yeah.
first thing he said.
Joey, what do you
I've-
gotta say?
Okay,
Joey,
I
what
have
do you
2 points to counter Emmett. Stop doing this bit.
Let's
It's
remove
not funny.
the bees out of it. That's a
Okay.
bad idea.
That's a terrible
Emmett.
point.
yeah.
You're saying the gorilla seems like he's overpowered. He's gonna run, right? Or
I'm
he's
more
gonna
saying
move,
he's
right?
gonna try and dodge. Like if a lethal attack is coming to me, doesn't matter how
There's no
my
lethal-
life.
You
Sure.
just said death
Sure.
by 1,000 punches.
You
There's
lose.
no singular
You lose
lethal punch.
20. You lose 20 of your men right off the
Yeah,
bat
so I'm
from
stuck
with
with
that
it.
mindset because they're just pussies and they won't go up to this gorilla because they don't want to die. You lose.
So
20
no
men.
no no
If
no no.
you're-
no.
if you're
No, 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 wait,
establishing that
If
viewpoint
you're
before
no
the
no no,
gorilla-
that's not what I'm saying. If
You're
you're
still
bloodlusted,
If you think the gorilla is a death punch immediately,
Yeah.
are you not going to try to dodge that?
of course. But
So
that
then-
doesn't mean I'm gonna say, "Whoa, no more, guys! I'm bloodlusted. I have to kill this gorilla."
The gorilla can only face one direction at a time.
Yeah.
One direction,
I
a
like that
singular
band.
direction.
I like that band.
I am like, there's no way this gorilla wins. We literally read up that the gorilla
Here's
loses.
the other problem.
If they
No,
all
no,
speak
no.
the same language.
If they are full-grown males at peak strength, these are like full-grown males.
It didn't
at
say peak.
strength,
It didn't say peak anywhere. It was 100 average
and
full-grown
that-
man.
and that can coordinate. This was my second.
Coordinate does not mean
Okay,
speak.
But have you considered this video?
Do I have to put this on screen? I don't know. If I
How
want
people
to.
expect the gorilla to move in a fight. That's you it's talking about.
Yeah,
That is you.
that is
You
you.
get to move like this.
It can't move like that.
Look at it, it's happening right now.
We have visual proof.
Okay.
My counterpoint to Emmett was
What if the gorilla knows how to command
that
me
you
a
don't
blast?
What if it has
I get that they're-
Shirigami or where the fuck the eye is
I
in
get that,
Naruto?
that they're bloodlusted and everything like that, right? I understand that point, but they're not coordinated. Regardless, your people aren't coordinated together.
Okay.
You might be bloodlusted and you might be running directly at them, but you have no point, or you have no strategy behind it. You're gonna swarm him, right?
Yeah, you have to.
Right?
You have to. That's the only way.
You can tell this is getting serious because we're leaning in.
Yeah.
The
We
monkey's
didn't know the game
the
really.
monkey's gonna think. The monkey's gonna think himself. If you're just bloodlusted and you don't have any strategy to yourself, you're gonna keep just sending in waves, sending in waves. I think he's gonna deal with these waves.
My dumbass is not running at.
Yeah,
a
why are the men
gorilla.
standing up in a line? I'm not gonna be man 99 sitting there like, I really hope he doesn't get to me. I'm not going, okay, 10 men at a time. Go. I think even if we lose
No, but
20,
that's what the movies do. guys.
20,
So-
okay, even if 20 men, run in haphazardly, right? 20 men run in haphazardly because we're not coordinated.
What if the gorilla did this and he ran through?
We just watched that video. So,
I just want to say I don't need to know the guy next to me. I don't need to know Punjabi for the guy to my right, and I don't need to know Japanese for the guy on my left to
The
know
average
I'm not
trauma
running
experience.
straight head first at a gorilla looking at me.
Yeah.
I'm waiting until he turns around before I go in.
Do you know how clumsy group fights get though?
Yes,
I don't think
100%.
all of you are hitting blows definitely on this gorilla.
have you not seen how clumsy a gorilla is?
That's so bad.
You've seen the videos of them,
Yeah.
they get jump scared by their reflection
Yeah.
and they run off.
I've seen that.
Bears now when they're like looking.
What?
They fall.
They
Wait,
eat their
hold
own
on.
poop.
Hold on. At least 3 men are taken out by dung artillery.
That's so true.
How
That's
about
so
you,
true.
gorilla?
Yeah, wait a minute. I'm on Team Gorilla. That's so true.
Dung
If
artillery.
he throws poop, it's over. The humans are done. Mortarized poop. Oh, from the other side of the ring. From downtown. From downtown. That definitely, that has to be cut because it's getting picked up everywhere else. I will cut that. Doesn't matter. It's gone from the video.
I said.
Now I have to cut it again. What is this?
He's just gonna have to beep it
He just
twice.
goes like.
Yeah. Well, now that's cut. What did he say? I said. Like it happens again.
That's really. That's really funny. That's really funny though.
Yeah, I'd like to apologize. Once his mic turns back on, I'd like to apologize for being so cruel against the gorilla argument because if he throws poop,
Dung artillery.
I think
Do you guys
from
think you
downtown.
could hit a fastball thrown by a gorilla like baseball?
Gorillas can't throw fastballs. That's one of the few things humans can do. They can throw better than a gorilla can.
Actually?
Yeah, our legs and
We're just-
arms are some of the most advanced suspension systems known to man.
Huh.
Yeah, we're meant for elasticity and.
Okay, but like, what if
we
like
curve
Mario
force.
Slugger style, the monkey just punches the ball towards you?
Yeah, I think that's why humans are the only creatures ever to use spears, and that's why I think we became so.
Why
good.
in the jungle we win.
Yeah.
Hold on. 100 people versus this creature.
Oh, it's dying.
I think
It's
this
dead.
creature. He knows.
I would punt the cat
Are
so
you
soon.
stupid? Of course the cat.
Are you stupid? It does not toast toast. It does bread, dumbass.
Also, Zach, just for future clips, can you do your classic "You are stupid"?
Yes,
are
say
you
the
stupid
line.
bit, please?
Say the line,
Say the
Bart.
line
Say
side.
Are you stupid?
So now we cut back to this, and it's gonna be really funny because whenever I use it in editing, people who know, those who don't know, those who know will know that it was fake and set up.
So-
It'll be really funny.
I think this is a good point to stop it here. I think dung artillery
I think
has
gorilla
changed,
wins.
changed my heart.
Like most arguments on this podcast, the people who had their mind made up before the argument didn't get their minds changed, and no points were made in the past hour.
I think it's a
Man!
Just yelling at each
Does
other.
our podcast suck? Shit!
It
sounds like
it's a
shitty argument.
45%, 55% in the human's favor.
I think it's 100% in the human.
I think it's 100% in the gorilla.
What? Oh yeah, because the dung
Because the dung artillery.
Yeah, I forgot.
Aiden actually, Aiden's totally, yeah.
I was just rage baiting. I was just rage baiting this
Yeah.
entire
Joey,
time.
say your classic goodbye, please. You always do it. It's so good.
Sure. Once again, for the why is this bit happening for the 15th time in a row? Greg is gonna have an awful time. Actually, yeah. Do you want to get this away? This is gonna be echoey as
I'm
hell.
just gonna cut the audio from their mics at this time.
I mean, that works too. So, thank you everybody for watching the Something Objectively Stupid podcast today on this episode. Well, goodbye first off, and on this episode we learned that 100 men can't take a gorilla. See you guys later. Bye.
Who wins?
Can we just go?
Are you strangling me? Guys, I don't know this guy. Stranger danger.
Stranger gorillas, stranger gorillas.
Zach, would you want to come on again next weekend?
Dude, you're just adding him as a third member.
Maybe I could be. Maybe.
Only if we talk about the gorilla argument
More
again.
gorillas, we're done throwing.